Major funding for NJTV News is provided in part by NJM Insurance Group, serving the insurance needs of residents and businesses for more than 100 years. PSE&G, we make things work for communities. And Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Tonight on NJTV News, the jockeying for a piece of the state budget pie.
Nonprofits from every sector are coming together, forming a coalition calling for tax fairness in New Jersey.
Nearly half of all students who responded to a new college survey say they lacked basic needs within the last year, like housing or food to eat.
Plus, fighting for funds to provide justice, housing, and childcare all under one roof for those victimized by domestic violence. And
a whodunit on the campus of the County College of Morris. Students using virtual reality to try to solve the crime.
Those stories and more next on NJTV News.
Live from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio at 2 Gateway Center in Newark, this is NJTV News with Mary Alice Williams.
Hello, thank you for joining us on air and online. $3 billion in additional taxes? When politicians and the politically engaged start talking dollars and cents, it means it's budget time. The budget season officially kicks off next week when the governor unveils his plan. NJTV News and NJ Spotlight are teaming up tonight to help walk you through who is asking for what and just how much. Joanna Gagas first looks at the coalition asking for that $3 billion.
Somebody earning New Jersey's minimum wage has to work 142 hours a week to afford to house their family. That's 3 full-time jobs plus some. We are talking about meeting people's basic, fundamental needs for health care, housing, a safe, clean environment.
In a collective cry for, quote, tax fairness, nonprofit leaders from a range of sectors gathered to announce a new coalition called For the Many, calling on state government to change the tax code so that it can better invest in programs and people who this coalition says need it the most.
For too long, New Jersey's tax policies have served only the wealthy and well-connected. And this comes at a price. After 8 years of Chris Christie, we see our public infrastructure crumbling, we see our schools in disrepair, and income and racial inequality and segregation at an all-time high in our state.
The past few decades of New Jersey budgets have been dominated by short-sighted decision-making and trickle-down economics. And this has set our state further behind and harmed our ability to make critical investments in our communities.
The group is calling for a millionaire's tax, but would like to take it further, proposing a progressive tax starting with earners at $250,000 a year, going up to $5 million a year. It's a bold plan that's not likely to have much traction, given Governor Murphy's inability to convince lawmakers to pass a millionaire's tax.
We see that there is an exodus of people from the state because of high property taxes, because of high sales tax, because of high income taxes, and because of high corporate taxes. This is the tax state. People cannot afford to stay here.
But the coalition says it's critical for those lowest earners in the state.
New Jersey ranks in the top 10 states for income inequality, and 40% of households are among the working poor. The problem is getting worse, not better, and our tax system is not helping.
Some in the group called for a stop to corporate tax breaks that they say fail to really impact communities.
Corporations like Amazon, the 10th largest employer in New Jersey, do not pay taxes and expect and push their employees to rely on public health insurance. This isn't right, and this is why we are here today to demand fairness and equity in New Jersey budget.
They also want to reverse tax cuts made during the Christie administration, like bringing the sales tax back to 7%, restoring financial support for environmental programs that they say have put New Jersey among the bottom 10 states for environmental funding, and they want to broaden the sales tax to include high-end services that currently aren't taxed. Things like
interior decorating, horse training, limousine services, a counter. Yachts, yes, and of course we have the cap, the $20,000 cap on yacht purchases, which gives an enormous tax break to those who are buying $5 million yachts.
From here, the organization plans to start a real grassroots movement, reaching out to and educating the communities that they say will most benefit from this plan, but who've been the hardest to reach. In Trenton, I'm Joanna Gagis, NJTV News.
What public coalitions want to spend and what lawmakers agree to spend are often vastly different. So we turn to our budget and finance expert, NJ Spotlight's John Reitmeyer. John, are you expecting a battle of the Titans in Trenton?
Maybe not a battle of the Titans, but certainly a continuance of this narrative that we've seen play out the last few years, where the governor is seeking more revenue, including from the establishment of a true millionaire's tax. But legislative leaders, including Senate President Steve Sweeney, want to see tax rates stay the same. And they're concerned that if we raise taxes too much, you could see people leave the state, especially high-income earners, who really carry a large share of the state income tax haul. So I would expect we see a continuance of that sort of tug of war play out with this new budget that's coming out.
What about the state debt and the huge public worker pension obligations? What's the plan for addressing them?
Yeah, so it seems like the governor has been on course to slowly ramp up funding for public worker pensions. We have the worst funded public employee pension system in the country, and to continue making debt payments. But you have people like Assembly Republican leader John Bramnick who want to see this taken on more aggressively, including by making changes to public worker benefits that would make them more affordable for taxpayers. And you have seen Senate President Sweeney come on board with some of these changes that have been talked about. So I'm not sure. It'll be something we have to look at in the Assembly this year to see if there is any Democratic support that builds. Right now, we haven't seen that. We've only seen it in some places in the Senate.
John, what is the Senate president planning to propose to help NJ Transit navigate its own longstanding budget issues?
Yeah, this one is a stay tuned for now. He's talked about putting forward a proposal to create a dedicated source of revenue for operating support for NJ Transit. Right now, that comes out of the budget, but it's subject to fluctuation from year to year. Murphy's tried to boost it in recent years. I expect the Senate president to put something out by the end of this week.
Okay, thank you very much, John Reitmeyer. And you can access John's preview of how your tax dollars might be spent by signing up for Spotlight's daily newsletter. Go to njspotlight.com and click on Newsletters. And next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, John Reitmeyer and the NJTV News team will be bringing you full coverage of the governor's budget address on air and online. Budgets are too tight for too many college students in New Jersey, many of whom may get financial assistance for tuition and books, but not for meals and a place to live. Senior correspondent Brianna Vannozzi looks at a first-ever statewide report that measures the gap between what community college students have and what they need and how they're forced to cope.
I remember working 4 part-time jobs at a time and never having the luxury of sitting down to focus on my academics. I had to study through the pictures that I took of my textbooks and finish assignments on my phone at work.
Bergen Community College alumna Stephanie Rim's difficult story put a spotlight on the struggles facing nearly half of all community college students across the state. A new study shows students lack basic needs, are living in poverty, and going hungry.
When people say, I went to college, generally you're thinking about going to a nice building, living in a dorm, having a meal plan. That's not the reality of college today.
The hashtag Real College Survey from the Hope Center for College, Community, and Justice gathered data from 9,000 students at 17 of New Jersey's community colleges. It's part of the nation's largest annual assessment of basic needs security among college students. The data show 39% of students were food insecure in the last 30 days. 44% were considered housing insecure in the previous year, and 14% identified as being homeless within the same time frame. Students were asked questions like whether or not they were worried their food would run out before they could afford to buy more, or whether they were couch surfing or temporarily staying with a friend or a family member.
When I would do student roundtables, people would mention sleeping in their cars. Students mentioned not knowing where their meals were coming from. So to have some real data behind it, this really matches what we've heard on the ground.
We know, for example, that students of color, returning college students, student parents have higher rates of housing and food insecurity.
In fact, 51% of black students reported experiencing food insecurity compared with 33% of their white peers. What's worse, experts say students are severely underutilizing public assistance available to them, like SNAP or housing vouchers.
We are working with our colleagues in higher education to do trainings for financial aid counselors at colleges across the state on our social services programs, so that the individuals that students turn to when they need financial assistance also know about our social services program.
But that's easier said than done, according to student Nick Bucci. He was forced to leave one of the state's top four-year schools because he couldn't afford basic needs, let alone tuition and fees.
It's very expensive. If you take in the cost of everything, even financial aid, it doesn't put a dent in it.
Higher ed leaders say they'll use this data to inform new policies.
The state's 18 community colleges are announcing today that we're working together with community-based organizations and with the state to make a commitment to really address students' basic needs.
And ensure students finish their degree with a meal on the table and a place to call home. In Paramus, Brianna Venozzi, NJTV News.
In this June's New Jersey primary election, thousands of people on parole or probation will have the right to vote. The law to restore that right for the first time in 176 years takes effect next month. And the League of Women Voters, established when women got the right to vote just 100 years ago, is reaching out to get the new group of voters registered and ready to voice their choice. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan reports.
But I'm very proud to be voting again, yes.
Parolee Advil Robinson's eager to vote in the next election. The Asbury Park residents among more than 80,000 New Jerseyans on parole or probation who will regain the right to cast a ballot on March 17th under a new state law. They'll be able to vote for, among other things, our next president and on a ballot question about recreational marijuana.
And it gives them a very strong confidence level that I'm being a part of everything that everyone is else a part of.
From D.C. to New Jersey neighborhoods throughout the state, our grassroots movement is shaping a more inclusive electorate.
New Jersey's League of Women Voters will launch a statewide registration drive in March, working from offices in 8 counties run by the Reentry Corporation. The agency helps reintegrate people released from incarceration. Many have wanted to vote.
What made me very, very sad was that every week when I come, I'd have 3, 4, maybe 8 people who could not register because they were on parole, and some are on parole for 5 years.
The right to vote for our clients is something that can make them whole again, something that that can give them one more step toward being that productive citizen that they all want to be and that they all can be.
It is our goal to register everyone and to facilitate people being able to vote, no matter who they are, no matter where they live, no matter who they're going to vote for. We never take a position on a party or a candidate.
New Jersey is the 19th state to allow convicts on parole or probation to vote. It took 2 years for advocates to pass the law. They call that campaign 1844 No More. 1844 is the year New Jersey restricted voting rights, and those behind bars here still cannot vote, a right granted only by Maine and Vermont. It's become a civil rights issue.
Nearly half of those denied the right to vote in New Jersey because of a criminal conviction are black, due to racial disparities in the criminal justice system.
The old voter registration form with its checkoff box about parole and probation will be updated. The League's looking for volunteers to help them reach out across the state through churches and community centers to remove barriers to the ballot box starting March 17th.
And yes, I'm changing it from St. Patrick's Day to Citizens Registration Day.
As far as me personally, I'm happy to have the chance to vote again.
The newly registered citizens will be eligible to vote in New Jersey's June 2nd primary. In Neptune, I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJTV News.
Those business tax breaks are still in limbo. Here with all the business news is Rhonda Schaffler. Rhonda?
Mary Alice, we're approaching 7 months without a replacement for the expired and controversial Grow NJ business tax credit program. Governor Murphy sticking to his demand that any new comprehensive program come with a cap or spending limit. We caught up with the CEO of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority earlier today. Tim Sullivan explained the governor's thinking on this.
A cap is another word for a budget. Every expenditure that goes through the state budget has a limit on it. We decide how much we're going to invest in schools and parks and public safety and under everything else. We think economic development and tax credits should be the same way.
Talks on this issue continue between the administration and the legislature. One of the state's premier business events is the New Jersey Chamber of Commerce's Walk to Washington, which is actually a train trip that takes place next week. And that event is getting the thumbs up from State Senator Loretta Weinberg, who's been leading the charge to change what's being called the toxic culture of sexual harassment in the state. Weinberg says she's pleased with the response from the chamber to address the issue. The chamber's made a number of changes, including banning hard alcohol on the train, increasing security, and distributing a new code of conduct for guests. Union-based Bed Bath & Beyond is putting the emphasis on beyond. The troubled retailer is launching a $1 billion turnaround plan to try to move beyond its ongoing sales slump. The chain is going to remodel its stores with Marie Kondo in mind. The CEO told the Wall Street Journal he wants to declutter and give the stores a more streamlined look. Businesses trying to do their part to boost the nation's low voter turnout. Nearly 400 companies have joined the nonpartisan CEO-led initiative called Time to Vote. They're promising to give their workers time off to vote in the presidential election. Keep in mind, while Election Day is a state holiday in New Jersey, it is not a holiday in many other states. Well, one day after the band Pearl Jam dissed a ticket scalping bill sponsored by Congressman Bill Pascrell is making sure his voice is heard. The congressman says, quote, Pearl Jam may know a thing or two about making great music, but they've been led astray about my legislation. As for what's next, stay tuned. On Wall Street, stocks rallying today, the Dow surging 115 points. And those are your top business stories.
New Jersey American Water, providing water and wastewater services to keep life flowing for more than 190 communities throughout New Jersey.
A stunning letter addressed to the work group formed to rid Jersey politics of toxic misogyny. The former Murphy campaign volunteer whose rape allegations brought the mistreatment of women to light wrote, "The system failed her." Katie Brennan's proposing more than 24 reforms to treat sexual assault victims more fairly. They include training for prosecutors, police, and judges on how to interact with victims of trauma, including sexual assault victims. They'd require victims be informed of their legal rights and have access to advocates, and create places where they can report inappropriate comments or conduct by judges, prosecutors, police, and elected officials. Next month, Brennan plans to present her list of reforms to the work group on harassment, assault, and misogyny in New Jersey politics. Domestic violence incidents happen every 7 minutes in New Jersey, an alarming stat. Now, one county is trying to get what the Justice Department calls the most effective model of domestic violence prevention, a new tool to give victims both protection and vital resources. Raven Santana reports on the proposed new Family Justice Center.
Jose Velasquez and his wife could barely hold back their tears as he described his daughter, Victoria, being beaten, thrown down the stairs, and left to die in her bed. The violent assault left her quadriplegic. Her attacker was someone she knew and lived with for years, her husband, who was convicted for the crime. His speech was part of a community forum to potentially launch Middlesex County's first Family Justice Center. The center will give survivors access to resources, including counseling, housing, and childcare, all in one place. Currently in New Jersey, there are 4 Family Justice Centers operating in Essex, Union, Monmouth, and Morris counties. Middlesex could be the 5th.
Although we are the second highest populated county, the most populated county is Bergen, and we have 27% more domestic violence cases reported than our sister agency Bergen. We're the 4th highest in the state of New Jersey, just trailing Camden, Essex, and Atlantic County.
Phyllis Yanta is the CEO of Women Aware, the lead domestic violence agency in Middlesex County. Yanta is working to get the program off the ground with the Alliance for Hope International, which oversees training and technical support for the proposed Family Justice Center.
The center has to reflect the community, so our job is to help the community do that by answering questions, by helping them assess what's working really well and what might need some improvement, and then helping them in literally guiding them through the process to create a center that's going to reflect what the survivors need and what fits the community best.
We did a community assessment to determine how many different locations does a victim of domestic violence potentially have to go to successfully get out of that abusive relationship. Here today in Middlesex County, it was around 20 different agencies.
Advocates say having a center that gives victims direct access to law enforcement allows them to regain control of their lives while their voices are heard during the criminal justice process.
If you are in crisis, if you are conflicted about what's happening, you don't know, you've never went through this, having somebody hold your hand and walk you through that process and be there to support you and to believe you is very important.
Members of the Alliance for Hope say they'll be back to meet with stakeholders to finalize details for the center. Since the need is so great in Middlesex County, they're hoping they'll quickly find the funding to open it and give survivors the protection they deserve. In New Brunswick, Raven Santana, NJTV News.
A professor murdered in a virtual world. His students combining old school forensics with new age technology to solve the crime. Michael Hill witnessed firsthand a crime scene investigation that is as much art as science.
Messy. But it looks like maybe he's just a messy person because there's stuff like kind of sprawled out everywhere.
Morgan Urban is virtually walking through an apartment and describing what she sees to her note-taking partner, Sam DeCosmo. They're County College of Morris students collecting clues and evidence to determine how this man wound up dead on the floor in his apartment.
There's no blood anywhere, right? Like even by his body?
It's just an exercise, but one meant to train students in how to work a potential crime scene using not the usual dummy on the floor, but virtual reality.
We had this idea that we get students out of the classroom and into an actual tangible crime scene.
What do you think the difference is?
I think the difference is you actually can get out and see what you're learning instead of just reading about it.
Professors from 3 different departments here at the college collaborated to create these scenes. It makes you wonder, did a crime really take place here? And that's something for the students to have to figure out. Among the scene creators, Dr. Maureen Kazaba, with 32 years of police experience. She encourages students to challenge their own theories about what happened here.
You believe that this was suicide, and now you have to go back in and come up with another manner of death. Was it a homicide? Was it natural, accidental? And so that helps them to develop their thinking, to keep more of an open line when they go into a scene.
So you're going into the scene, you're looking for objects that you might be able to process for fingerprints.
Professor Brian Olson says truth and justice demand a thorough investigation.
If we jump to conclusions entering a crime scene, just one step too far from the evidence that we actually have, this kind of thing can result in prosecutions of innocent people. It could result in a person getting off of charges simply because the evidence was misread. And so it's of utmost importance that any investigator knows when they approach a crime scene that they should be very cautious and look at all possible avenues the evidence might take them.
And it looks like he was trying to hang something up because there's
So Urban and DeCosmo and classmates collected clues.
I wonder what that bag is. Maybe he was suffocated. Because there's no blood.
There you go.
Oh my God, I'm so good at this.
Wait, living room.
Definitely feels very real, like you're in the crime scene, for sure.
Yeah, you want to like walk around and touch things because it feels like you're actually there.
Dr. Kazaba says using a physical dummy still has benefits over virtual reality because students can physically walk the scene, do measurements, and take other tangible steps. But VR, she says, does have advantages too.
How beneficial would this kind of virtual reality training have been when you started out?
Very beneficial, particularly to keep an open mind, to be slow and methodical.
virtual reality to prepare students for the real world on the campus of the County College of Morris. Michael Hill, NJTV News.
Tomorrow on NJTV News, a trash pile 7 stories high. We'll take a trip to Waste Mountain. It's not a ride at Six Flags. To share any story you've seen tonight, go to njtvnews.org. I'm Mary Alice Williams. For all the men and women of NJTV News, thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.
The members of the New Jersey Education Association, making public schools great for every child. RWJ Barnabas Health, let's be healthy together. And Ørsted, committed to the creation of a new long-term, sustainable, clean energy future for New Jersey.
PSE&G is building New Jersey's clean energy future. We're working to protect our network against extreme weather, expanding and upgrading transmission lines, and modernizing our natural gas system by installing new, more durable underground pipes. At PSE&G, our goal is to make sure you have the safe, reliable energy you need to power your life now and into the future.
I'm Kayla, and this is what I work for. To teach him, to protect her, and to take care of me, too. I need health insurance that does the same, that makes things easier for my schedule, so I can focus on what matters. This is my life, and this is how Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey works for me, and him, and her.